Joyce, what does this Monday deadline tell you?
Well, this looks like a situation. This is not uncommon in cases, particularly where a defendant's intent or knowledge is at issue, where the lawyers for the Trump Organization wanted to have the chance to come in and explain to prosecutors why they shouldn't be indicted. And when you're a prosecutor, you always welcome this kind of opportunity. It's unlikely it's going to change your mind, but it may be the best chance you have to hear the defense's arguments before trial. So this is always an opportunity to learn a little bit about the defense's case and what they believe their strongest selling points are. And in that rare situation where maybe you've misinterpreted evidence or gotten something wrong, it's a chance to make sure that you do the right thing when you indict a case.
So what could the main focus of these charges be, Joyce?
You know, it's not entirely clear. When you're indicting the corporate defendant, you're probably talking about many of the things that we've heard about over the course of the last year, about tax fraud, about bank fraud, potentially about insurance fraud or other species of fraudulent activity. And it's important to remember that just because the corporation gets indicted doesn't mean that individuals can't be indicted down the road. This looks like baby steps. And of course, one of the goals here is to see whether Alan Weisselberg, Trump's right-hand man, will ultimately cooperate against Trump personally.
You got out ahead of me, Joyce, as you often do, because I want you to break something down for me, which is how do prosecutors determine whether an organization should be criminally charged? And how is that process different than charging an individual?
You know, this is an area that can be fraught. There was a lot of activity on this issue, and at a point in the Justice Department, obviously here we're talking about the state of New York, but at a point DOJ issued guidance, a memo issued by former acting Attorney General Sally Yates, that ordered prosecutors to look very carefully at individuals for liability and not to simply indict corporations. It can be a little bit easier from an evidentiary perspective to indict the corporation, but what that means is that individuals are not held accountable. You know, the corporation is not going to prison. You can find them. In essence, a situation like this could have the impact of putting Trump Organization out of business, which is a form of justice. But you always want to be able to go after individuals if the evidence is available to you.
I do want to ask you before I let you go, Joyce, 2020 elections, these newly released comments from Bill Barr on Trump's claims of voter fraud. ABC's Jonathan Karl has a new book out. It quotes Bill Barr as saying, if there was evidence of fraud, I had no motive to suppress it. But my suspicion all the way along was that there was nothing there. It was all BS. Joyce, that seems to me like the bare minimum, not worthy of his office, an attempt to cover his own hide. What do you make of the timing of saying these things now?
It sure would have been nice if the sitting attorney general would have come out and said this officially at a point where it could have made a difference to the country, at a point in time where we wouldn't have been dragged through the events that occurred on January 6th. So this is just weak sauce coming from Bill Barr at this point in time. Maybe it's an effort to try to salvage some of his legacy. Whatever it is, none of us should be fooled by this. Bill Barr made his decision about where he stood when it came to democracy versus Donald Trump a long time ago, and these late-made statements don't change anything.